Chapter 19. The Deer Hunter. It's a harpoon, not an ordinary spear. I'm more interested in hearing what you have to say. Do you want to take my life? Blood is flowing out of my severed right arm. All I can do at this point is run my mouth. Yeah, if you're dead anyway, just go all out, I guess. Dr. Moses, I do not enjoy killing people. I don't wish to stain my body with blood that I don't need to see. So, what is it that you want? First and foremost, the most important task, retrieving the original footage that was recorded. Vespa shook his hand to check his watch for a moment, then resumed his speech. Second, moving you, Ezra, and Uriah, the 3 people who broke the taboo, to LobCorp. Apparently Uriah was not the only one guilty of violating the taboo. You don't immediately kill those who break the taboo? How considerate. Well, that's how things are. But no one who's been sent to LobCorp for infringing the taboo has ever returned to my knowledge. Vespa glared at me and readjusted his glasses. Dr. Moses, make no mistake. I could decapitate you right now and store your head in a preservation cube. Wait, why would he need to store it again? Then why aren't you doing so? Wait, what? I mean, I get it. I would store Moses' head any day, all day, 365, I guess, but why aren't you doing so? Vespa has something he needs to coax out of me, something he can get from me. Knowledge about the distortion? Doesn't make much sense for a taboo hunter to inquire about the distortion. Vespa's objective is to bring Ezra, Uriah and I to his employer. He seems to have located me easily, then he might be aware of Ezra's location as well. Perhaps he already took care of her. However, he would have no need to hesitate if I were the only remaining target. Now I get it. Finding Ezra and I should be easy for him, but Uriah? Even if he found Ezra and Uriah in the hotel room we booked, he'd only have an unconscious body on his hands. It would be difficult to imagine via common knowledge that her unconscious mind has been transferred to this small teddy bear of all things, not a replacement body or any conceivable alternative. And Vespa is pressed for time right now. If he had enough to spare, he would have severed my head like he threatened to do just now and searched my brain for the relevant information. Oh, here we go. It's the old, I think in like technical terms and in the world of Project Moon and Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Ruina and Distortion Detective, I think it's actually called doing the Bina to do this to someone. Oh, I love doing the Bina to girls I'm interested in. This gives me leeway for a negotiation. He needs to know something only a conscious Uriah knows. He's yet to find the original recordings. Only Uriah knows where they are. They'd be inside Uriah's workshop. In that case, I have time and information as my weapon. Can they even get to Uriah's workshop? Wait, is her workshop the distortion or are the teddy bears the distortion? Or both? Can they even get to it once Uriah is dead? Or does it just... what happens with these reality marble-like structures? Looks like I'm the only conscious person who has a lead on the whereabouts of the original footage, and you're running short on time. ... Vespa furrowed his brow. Seems it's my turn again. What happened to Ezra? Fine then, let's show a bit of honesty to each other. After I answer your question, you'll answer mine in return. I'll take it, and you still haven't given me an answer for my last question. I lost Miss Ezra. She was a quick-witted one. I was quite relieved to hear the news. I still cannot fully trust him, however. It's my turn, Dr. Moses. Do you know where the original copy of the footage you've recorded is located? I know that the footage is in Uriah's atelier. At the same time, I don't know how to access her workshop. Yes, I know where the footage is. I don't know how to get there, though. Vespa raised his eyebrows. What did you do with Uriah's body? Oh, right, I guess it's Moses asking him what he did with Uriah's body. Since I guess Ezra didn't take it with her when she ran away. It is in my car, and I haven't laid a finger on it. I answered your question, so let me ask mine. Can you figure out how to access the location where the footage is? I can figure it out. I can simply ask Uriah about it. Even if I had no way of knowing, this is a question I'm obligated to answer with a yes. If I said otherwise, my usefulness would expire to him. Oh, Vespa believes what I'm saying. This question is one asked by someone expecting to hear a truthful statement for every question. He's more honest than he seems. I've gained all the information I need from him. Vespa is likely to be telling the truth. That would mean Ezra is alive. Uriah's body is fine as well. All I can do next is have faith in Ezra. I'm not sure she can beat him. He seems to be in a different league altogether, power-wise. I can. What happens to us once we follow you to LobCorp? I'm afraid I don't know that. All I do is hunt down those who violate a taboo and send them to LobCorp. Vespa looked at his watch again. Alright, I believe we can now make a deal. As you've pointed out, I have little time to spare. I will only take you along with the original footage, Dr. Moses. I will forfeit the hunt for Ezra and Yuri as of now. I would advise against attempting to bargain for more, for your information. Fine. Yuri, open the atelier for him. Yuri has squirmed out of my coat's pocket. Vespa quietly stares at us, showing no reaction to the moving teddy bear. Detective Moses, I told you. You should trust me. Understood. A door is needed to get to my atelier. We could use this... We could use once in Mr. Zhang's house. Sorry. Very late, and reading is hard sometimes, isn't it? You make some time to back up the apartment? If we must, we'll go up as you... Fuck me. The font is so small! If we must, we'll go up as you ask. Your arm and the smoking pipe will be in my possession. You'll have to come with me anyway. Oh, it's Vespa speaking. It's also very hard to tell who is saying what. How do I do it when I regularly read a book? It's been a while. Oh, fuck me. These days I only read manga. Quite sad. After I nodded, Vespa came to my side. He took out a stasis preservation cube from inside his coat pocket and stored my right arm in it. Putting the cube back, Vespa covered my shoulder with a dressing. He then put Faye on his shoulder, who was still lying on the ground unconscious. Okay, we're just taking her along. He bent his knees to lower his position and stretched an arm at us. Yuri and I watched Vespa's bizarre series of movements in silence. We have no time to take an elevator. Come over here. Do we really have to do this? Dr. Moses, I cannot waste a second. What? Disgusting. Disgusting? Vespa leapt to the 17th floor of the apartment. What? Of the apartment with Faye and I in his embrace. He has tremendous muscular strength. He must have gained it all through a multitude of augmentation procedures, and I assume he partakes in ceaseless physical training as well. We're back at Zhang Lei's house in an instant. All the furniture in the house is now severely damaged or broken. Blade cuts were vividly showing on the walls. I could guess how fierce the battle was despite its length. Wait a second, this guy can jump 17 stories high? 17! If we assume that like one floor is... Let's say one floor is 2 meters. I don't know how big the people are in like the city. But let's just assume, right? Because like floor thickness and stuff, and let's just assume. Actually, I think I have the sizes of these people. Wasn't there like a... Anyway, that's 17 times 2. It would mean he jumped 34 meters. I can't convert that to American. I'm very sorry, everyone. It's like something with feet and inches and like maybe a few fingers, who knows. But it's incredibly high, I can tell you that. I merely acted in self-defense while executing my duty. I hope you don't have any hard feelings towards me for killing an acquaintance of yours, Dr. Moses. Well, maybe not about this, but what about my fucking arm, right? He's a dangerous kind. He switches his attitude in an instant and entices people into bringing the guard down with honeyed words, saying that he didn't do it because he wanted to. This man could have easily neutralized Zhang Lei without killing him. In that sense, Vespa is a pro when it comes to hunting people. He knows when to apply psychological pressure on his targets and when to loosen them up. Every action of his is calculated. Vespa gently put Faye and I on the floor. Yuri, open a workshop. Yuri climbed out of my pocket and touched one of the closed doors. The door vibrated briefly. Done. I want you to enter first, Vespa said, adjusting his glasses. Wait, can they just close the door behind themselves? And cut themselves off from it? Vespa said, adjusting his glasses. It had to be an unfamiliar sight for him, but he doesn't appear phased at all. Picked up Uriah, who was standing in front of the door, placed her on my shoulder. I opened the door to the now familiar staircase to Uriah's atelier. I slowly walked down the stairs. Vespa follows us from behind, keeping a distance. After coming down the stairs, we're walking along the corridor leading to the hall. This is where the real battle starts. Is it? Oh, I guess. Uriah, the bears. Right as I whispered the words to Uriah, I rolled forward. Wait a second. Uriah, the bears. I rolled forward. All the bears in Yuri's atelier rushed out at once. Teddy bears armed with blades on their paws jumped at Vespa. There was a flash of yellow light. The heads of the bears dropped to the ground before they could even reach it. A large bear with an axe descends from the ceiling, aiming for Vespa. The bear split in half before touching the ground. While Vespa's sword was busy cutting apart the bears, I desperately ran towards the exit. Numerous bears gang up on Vespa. Every single one of them is sliced up before they can touch him. Keeping Vespa occupied is good enough work for us, however. So they want to trap him. Yuri, you can't pump out an unlimited amount of bears, can you? Of course I can. I'm about to faint from dizziness. I'm squeezing my brain right now. Yuri struggled to speak, clinging to my shoulder. Dr. Moses, I'm disappointed. Vespa's quiet mutter reached my ear. I arrived at the stairs leading up to the outside, and I told Vespa, "You'll find the footage you're looking for at the end of that corridor. You'd best settle for retrieving the footage." Vespa is surrounded by a legion of teddy bears. It's physically improbable that he'll come for us immediately in that state. Just need to take a few more steps up the stairs. I intend to keep my word. I'm taking both you and the footage. Light flashed for a split second. I fell down on my face with a groan. A spear penetrated my left thigh and nailed itself to the floor. This is a tool for hunting humans. Okay. It's a harpoon, not an ordinary spear. I would argue that this is a tool for hunting fish, but okay. Damn it, the hornet was embroidered on his clothes for a reason. Vespa unhurriedly approaches me, slicing up the bears around him. I tried to pull the harpoon out of my thigh, but it wouldn't budge. I don't have the strength to remove this. Yuri tries to help me, but no avail. She's a tiny teddy bear. Fallen on the stairway, I lifted my head. All I had to do was climb up those stairs. Vespa was now right behind me. The exit seems so far and faint now. I suppose taking ahead was a better idea after all. Vespa adjusted his glasses. This will not happen again. So this is how it ends. Hectopascal kick! 10 times the acceleration! Ezra landed her foot on Vespa's chest with incredible force. Woo! Woo! Ezra! Vespa was flung far away at a remarkable speed. Detective, are you okay? Ezra was also covered in injuries. Just look at me and tell me if this looks okay. Ezra Sonbei! Junior! Yuria hopped excitedly. Ezra responded with a wide smile. She must have been worried about Yuria because she couldn't protect her body from Vespa, but it's still too early to be relieved. Most foes would be reduced to pieces of flesh and bone the moment they came in contact with Ezra's flying kick coming down from the height of a long stairway at full force. However, Vespa was only knocked away by its impact. That monster of a man. Ezra, please get rid of this thing stuck in my thigh. Hey, detective, hold still for a bit. I grit my teeth. The harpoon was removed from the ground once Ezra gave it some force. Detective, can you get up on your own? Ezra has no time to help me up. She has to face Vespa, who will come back for us in no time. Sonbei, I'll help Detective up with my bears. Okay, I'll leave it to you, Junior. I didn't think she would be able to do anything, okay? Small teddy bears appeared and lifted me. They probably manifested from the last of Yura's mental strength that she could squeeze out. The bears carry us and speedily climb up the staircase. Ezra, follow us right away! With a blast of sound, a yellow light sparkles from the end of the corridor and dashes towards us. In a fraction of a second, Ezra caught a yellow blade between her palms with a clapping motion. Excellent, Vespa remarked, shaking his rumpled hair with his vacant right hand. Detective, you should go first, Ezra shouted. Ezra, get up here as soon as you see a chance, I shouted back. Don't think I can do that. Sorry, Ezra answered. God, I'd love to leave it at that fucking cliffhanger, but no, we're gonna read chapter 20. I mean, is Ezra strong enough for this guy? Seriously? How high can she jump? They should do a jumping battle. Chapter 20. A bloody struggle. Nevertheless, Ezra moves forward. Because I think I might win this if things go well. Clap! The edge of the sword in Vespa's left hand is facing towards Ezra, and she's desperately keeping the blade from getting closer to her. Vespa strikes Ezra's ribs with his unoccupied right hand. Pum? A noise echoes. What kind of noise is pum? I guess it's just like a... Wait a second, okay. That sounded more liquidy than I thought it would. A noise echoes. The blow sends Ezra flying to the wall. She then rebounds to deliver a kick to Vespa's head. Vespa's glasses are knocked off of his face. He stumbles for a moment, but he soon regained balance. I can do the sound of someone's glasses falling down. Listen to this. Impressive, right? Now I can't read anymore. Ezra wipes the blood on her mouth. You're talented in combat. A yellow light flashed. But you do not have the talent of killing people. Blood spilled from Ezra's chest. He took out the Nestor workshop hammer, swung it downward, only to land on thin air. Damn it. If I only had my smoking pipe, I could have leveraged the situation in her favor somehow. I was halfway up the stairs. There's absolutely nothing I could do other than helplessly watch Ezra. Sanbei, remember what we talked about the other day? Yuria shouted urgently. I know, Junior. Come to think of it, the mask that always used to cover Ezra's face wasn't there this time. Yellow light flashed once again. The flashing light left a trail across Ezra's waist. Cree! Not even gonna bother to look for a sound effect for this one. Sparks flew up with an ear-splitting screech of metal. Ezra's left waist is padded with an object akin to a sheet of steel. Augmented armor is it? I must wonder why you haven't used it until now. This is my first time using it, so... Flashes of yellow light sparkle from Vespa's left arm. A piece of armor blooms wherever a yellow light strikes. The blade leaves yellow trails as it slices through the armor, but it fails to leave a deep cut. Ezra shrugs off Vespa's attacks and swiftly closes in on him. That's my Ezra. Ezra's psychoman is already protecting her. She drills a fist into Vespa's chest without hesitation. The sheer force of the punch produced a sound wave that resounded through the workshop. Vespa flinched with a cough. Ezra gives him no rest from the flurry of her fists. Vespa is being steadily pushed into the corner, coughing up blood. His battle is under her control now. She gives her opponent no room to brandish the sword. Ezra knows well how to fight someone armed with a bladed weapon, but Vespa is just as persistent. He won't fall down or let go of his blade. Even though his face is already covered in blood, he won't lose his balance. Despite seeing Ezra completely dominate the fight, he can't be at ease. I must reassess you. Vespa mutters something. Ezra ignores his mumbling and continues to throw punches and kicks at him. Groin, left chest, laryngeal prominence, right waist, left calf, solar plexus, left cheek, solar plexus, groin. This one really hurts. Rib, left thigh, groin again. She absolutely knows where to strike. Left waist. Ezra's fists strike down every known weakness of the human body that could be fatal. Vespa groans. Maybe he's liking it at this point, but he does not collapse. Yuri and I reached the top of the stairs and escaped the atelier. Outside of the door, we watched Ezra's fight with bated breath. Man, I'm limited on sounds I can make, okay? I have like 2 spoons with me, maybe I can like... No. That's okay. A sharp, high-pitched sound was heard. Vespa is holding a harpoon in his right hand. That harpoon was lying on the floor behind Ezra mere moments ago, and there was a hole in the armor covering Ezra's left shoulder. Blood leaks from the injured shoulder, yet Ezra does not step back. She continues to pummel Vespa with her right hand. Vespa held the harpoon short and stabbed it into Ezra. Ezra took quick steps to dodge to the side, but she couldn't outspeed the thrust. Can't outspeed the thrust after all. Can't outspeed the thrust. The harpoon penetrated deep into Ezra's side. Nevertheless, Ezra moves forward, and she wrapped her right arm around Vespa's. Okay, crick? Oh, this is the sound of bones breaking. Wait, I can do this one. No, my arm! Ezra broke Vespa's arm and snapped it. Clink! The harpoon tumbles to the floor. However, Vespa's eyes have not gone lifeless. He stares into Ezra without blinking even once. Those eyes are dangerous. Ezra cannot finish this fight. She will die if this goes on. What is going on? How can they even be on an even footing? The fight needs to end right this instant. Ezra, get up here now! I shouted at Ezra from the top of my lungs. She instantly backed off, kicking Vespa in the chest. Yes, detective. Ezra rapidly sprints up the stairs. Vespa has his gaze fixed on her. Yuria, seal the workshop! I yelled, ready to shut the door. The harpoon is lifted in front of his eyes. Ezra climbed the staircase in a matter of seconds. She's only one step away. A yellow light flashes before my eyes. Can't be anything other than his harpoon coming at us full speed towards Ezra and towards me. Believing in Ezra, I slammed the door shut with all my strength. Quing! Man, this is asking too much of me. The vibration sent a tremor through the building for a while. I'm fortunately alive. Sorry, the unfortunately alive, that's like my personal thing. The harpoon couldn't break through the atelier's door. And Ezra? Detective, what will we do with your arm and your leg? Doesn't it hurt bad? She was checking on me first, even when she was badly injured herself. We all survived the hunter. I heaved a sigh. Looking around the living room, I was greeted by the fixers of Dokui office who were still alive. Faye was at the center of them. There's many pieces that need picking up here. And I guess most of them are of her father, which is... Well, how are we gonna explain this one? Oh, gee.